Ladies and gentlemen, there's a truth we all must face. Time is fleeting. Every minute that passes is a minute that will never return. Yet, in the rush of life, it's so easy to forget this fundamental fact. We are caught up in distractions, endlessly scrolling through screens, buying things we don't need, chasing temporary pleasures, and in doing so, we let life slip through our fingers. If we're being honest, how many of us have sat back and thought about how much time we've wasted? How many moments have been lost to trivialities, leaving us with little more than regret? We are often given the illusion that time is endless, but the truth is far harsher. Life is fragile, and each day that passes is one less we have to live fully, to pursue what matters. Consider for a moment what truly matters to you. Is it fame, wealth, power? These are pursuits that, for all their glitter, leave us feeling empty once achieved. They are distractions that mislead us into thinking that success in these areas equates to fulfillment. But ask anyone who has sought these things, and they will tell you that the pursuit itself is hollow and the satisfaction short-lived. Instead, imagine a life that is centered around purpose, a life focused not on fleeting things but on lasting impact. What if we decided to spend our time learning, growing, contributing to those around us? Every skill learned, every relationship nurtured, every act of kindness performed, all of these actions leave a trace on the world. And in the end, it's not the size of your bank account or the popularity of your social media profile that matters. It's the lives you've touched, the change you've inspired, and the person you've become through the journey. It's easy to think that we have all the time in the world, but life has a way of surprising us. None of us knows how many days we have left, so why waste them on things that don't matter? Why spend another moment on habits that prevent us from realizing our true potential? We must act now, for the window of opportunity is always closing. It's also essential to recognize the power of reflection. Look back at your life and ask yourself, what are you proud of? What would you do differently? The answers you give today could help shape the decisions you make tomorrow. Regret comes not from the things we do, but from the things we don't do, from the opportunities we let slip by because we were too distracted to seize them. But there is hope. It's never too late to change. Life is about progress, not perfection. It's about making choices each day that reflect who you want to become. Don't let another year, another day slip by without taking action toward what truly matters. Don't let your time be consumed by meaningless pursuits that will not matter in the end. What will your legacy be? Will you look back and realize you've wasted it? Or will you be able to say you lived a life of purpose, a life that made a difference? The choice is yours, right now. So, stop wasting your life. Live with intention. Seek what is meaningful. Pursue growth. Take responsibility. And above all, use your time wisely, for it is the most valuable gift you have. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and yet it is often the most taken for granted. It is easy to assume that we have an endless supply, that we can waste it today and simply catch up tomorrow. But the truth is that once a moment is gone, we cannot reclaim it. We live in a world of distractions and demands, and we often get caught up in a cycle of work, entertainment, or idle pursuits that allow time to slip through our fingers. The reality of time scarcity becomes clearer as we age. When we are young, we feel invincible, as though we have an abundance of time to do whatever we want. But as the years pass, we begin to realize that time does not stand still. For every moment we spend procrastinating, wasting, or avoiding important work, we forgo the possibility of something better. We begin to wish we had done things differently, made better use of our time. The regret that comes from knowing how much time was wasted can be overwhelming, and yet it is often too late to change the past. Understanding the value of time means recognizing that every second matters. It means making conscious decisions about how we spend our time, whether it's dedicating ourselves to meaningful work, nurturing relationships, or taking care of our own well-being. By treating time with the respect it deserves, we unlock the potential to accomplish much more, to live a life that is purposeful and fulfilling. In a society that constantly demands our attention, it is easy to fall victim to the illusion that time is infinite. But when we truly understand the preciousness of each moment, we become more intentional with how we spend our days. Time should be treated as a currency, valuable, limited, and deserving of thoughtful investment. Time well spent is an investment in our future, our happiness, and our sense of purpose. In a world that often prioritizes success, wealth, and external validation, the pursuit of true meaning can feel like a rare, almost unreachable goal. People often find themselves chasing material rewards, believing that possession, status, or recognition will bring fulfillment. However, the truth is that these things are fleeting. They provide momentary satisfaction but fail to offer the deeper sense of purpose and meaning that we crave in our lives. Meaning is found not in external achievements but in the internal journey of growth, self-discovery, and contribution. When we focus on finding meaning in our lives, we move beyond the temporary distractions and the superficial goals that society often promotes. Meaning is rooted in things that matter: relationships, personal development, helping others, and working towards a purpose that transcends self-interest. We often mistake busy work or superficial success for real fulfillment. We might achieve all the goals we set out for ourselves, only to find that they do not provide the deep satisfaction we hoped for. This realization can be unsettling, but it is also a crucial moment of awakening. It challenges us to reevaluate our priorities and to seek deeper forms of fulfillment that align with our true values. Pursuing meaning also involves taking risks and making sacrifices. It requires courage to go against the grain, to question societal norms, and to redefine what success looks like for ourselves. It is about creating a life that reflects our deepest values and passions, rather than conforming to the expectations of others. By shifting our focus from external rewards to internal fulfillment, meaning is often found in the small, everyday moments, connecting with loved ones, pursuing passions, or contributing to causes that align with our values. It is in these moments that we find true satisfaction. The pursuit of meaning invites us to look beyond the superficial and to invest in what will leave a lasting impact on our lives and the lives of others. We live in an age of constant distraction. From the moment we wake up until we go to bed, we are bombarded with messages, notifications, and temptations that pull us away from what truly matters. Social media, endless entertainment, and the pressures of modern life can consume our attention and time, leaving little room for reflection, deep work, or meaningful connections. Distractions are not inherently bad. They serve a purpose in providing temporary relief from the stresses and demands of life. However, when these distractions become our primary focus, they prevent us from living intentionally. They prevent us from doing the things that will lead to personal growth, fulfillment, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. The danger of distractions is not just in the time they consume, but in the mental energy they divert away from our goals and values. Overcoming distractions requires a level of self-discipline and intentionality. It means actively choosing to limit the time we spend on things that do not serve our long-term objectives. It means resisting the urge to scroll through social media or binge-watch television when we could be using that time for personal development, relationships, or contributing to a meaningful project. To overcome distractions, it is also important to recognize the underlying reasons we seek them out. Often we turn to distractions as a way of avoiding discomfort, uncertainty, or deeper emotional work. By acknowledging these underlying fears and discomforts, we can begin to confront them and move forward with purpose. It also means setting boundaries in our lives, whether that's limiting the time we spend on technology or creating space for quiet reflection and contemplation. By doing so, we regain control over our time and energy, allowing us to direct them toward things that matter. Overcoming distractions is about creating an environment where we can focus on what truly matters and it is an essential step in making the most of our lives. We often live under the assumption that we can control everything in our lives: our time, our success, our happiness. We plan, we organize, and we work hard, believing that if we follow a certain path, we can dictate the outcome. But life has a way of reminding us that control is an illusion. No matter how much we plan, no matter how prepared we think we are, there are always forces beyond our control. Health crises, financial setbacks, personal losses, and global events are just a few examples of the unexpected challenges that can disrupt our carefully laid plans. And while we cannot control these events, we can control how we respond to them. The key lies in understanding that while we can make choices and take actions, the outcome is not always guaranteed. This awareness should not lead to resignation or passivity. Rather, it invites us to adopt a mindset of adaptability and resilience. By accepting that we cannot control everything, we become more open to growth, change, and new opportunities. It is in embracing uncertainty that we find the freedom to explore, to take risks, and to pursue what truly matters to us without the paralyzing fear of failure. The illusion of control also prevents us from being present in the moment. We are often so focused on achieving a particular outcome that we miss the richness of the journey itself. By letting go of the need to control everything, we allow ourselves to fully experience life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. Understanding that control is limited allows us to live with greater humility and wisdom. We learn to accept life's unpredictability and trust that, in the end, we are capable of navigating whatever comes our way. Regret is a powerful emotion, and it often comes to us when we realize that we've wasted time or opportunities that we can never recover. We look back at moments in our lives, decisions we made, paths we didn't take, chances we didn't seize, and wonder how things might have been different. Regret is a reminder that time, once spent, cannot be reclaimed. It is also a reminder that we have the ability to reflect on our past choices and learn from them. Reflection allows us to understand why we made the decisions we did and to acknowledge the consequences of those decisions. It is through reflection that we gain insight into our lives and understand the things that truly matter to us. When we avoid reflecting on our lives, we risk repeating the same mistakes and continuing down paths that lead to dissatisfaction and regret. The key to dealing with regret is not to dwell on past mistakes, but to learn from them. Regret becomes a source of wisdom when we take it as an opportunity for growth, rather than self-criticism. We can choose to view our regrets as valuable lessons, each one teaching us something about our priorities, our values, and the way we want to live moving forward. Reflection is not just about looking back, but also about looking forward. It is a tool for course correction, a way to ensure that we are making the most of our time moving forward. By taking the time to reflect on our lives, we can make conscious decisions about how we spend the time we have left. Reflection also helps us to align our actions with our deeper values, ensuring that we live a life that we will not regret when we look back on it. Personal growth is an essential part of living a meaningful life. It involves continually striving to improve ourselves, to learn new things, to challenge our assumptions, and to expand our abilities. Personal growth is a lifelong journey, and it is one that requires intentional effort and dedication. It is not something that happens by accident or without purpose. Taking responsibility for our personal growth means recognizing that we are the architects of our own lives. While circumstances may influence us, it is up to us to decide how we respond and what we do with the opportunities and challenges that come our way. Personal growth does not happen without effort. It requires self-discipline, perseverance, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. One of the most important aspects of personal growth is self-awareness. It is essential to be honest with ourselves about our strengths and weaknesses, our passions and fears. This self-awareness allows us to make conscious decisions that align with our true desires and values. By taking responsibility for our own growth, we stop blaming external factors for our shortcomings and start focusing on what we can control. Personal growth also involves taking responsibility for the impact we have on others. It means choosing to become the best version of ourselves, not only for our own benefit, but also to contribute positively to the world around us. By becoming better, we can inspire and support others in their own journeys of growth. Ultimately, the question we must ask ourselves is, what kind of legacy do we want to leave behind? Our legacy is the mark we leave on the world, the lives we've touched, and the impact we've made. It is not about material wealth or fame, but about the positive influence we have on others and the contributions we make to the world. Legacy is created not through grand gestures, but through everyday actions. It is built through the relationships we nurture, the work we do, and the values we live by. Every decision we make today contributes to the legacy we will leave behind. The small acts of kindness, the efforts to help others, and the pursuit of meaningful work all contribute to the lasting impact we have on the world. We often think of legacy as something that is only important when we are nearing the end of our lives. However, the truth is that we are creating our legacy every day. Each moment is an opportunity to make a difference, to leave a positive imprint on the people and the world around us. As we go through life, it's important to ask ourselves if we are living in a way that aligns with the kind of legacy we want to leave. Are we focusing on the things that matter most? Are we building something that will outlast us? If not, it's never too late to change. Every day is a chance to make choices that will shape the legacy we leave behind. In the end, life's true value is found in how we choose to spend our time and energy. It's easy to get distracted by the fleeting and superficial, but true fulfillment comes from pursuing meaning, overcoming distractions, and embracing personal growth. We must recognize that time is limited, and the control we seek is often an illusion. Reflecting on our choices and learning from them allows us to live with purpose, ensuring we leave a positive legacy. The key to a life well lived lies in living intentionally, creating meaningful impact, and never losing sight of what truly matters.